Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our third replay of the day. This is Random Guy Pie using a subscriber replay to cover his game in the Victoria. The Victoria is a tier 9 Spanish battleship, which, frankly, I was surprised at when I played it. I thought it wasn't going to be that great, and I was frankly wrong. She's a very fun ship to play. She's based off of if I remember right, a Roma hull. Isn't this a Roma, or is it a Is it the Lepanto hull? I don't recall off the top of my head. It is Roma? Okay. So what that means is she's got really good side plate armor, which is great for bouncing shells at a decent angle. So it is a Veneto class. Okay, so it's Roma, yeah. But if you show your broadside, you get punished. So you keep that in mind. Now she's got two things going for her. One is that she's got main battery reload booster, which allows her to load up those EP shells for the perfect moments. If you've ever fired a shot in Roma and you did good damage, but you wish you could have done more, main battery reload booster helps you quite a bit. It also has a funny button. Now, I'm not sure if it shows on the sheet or not, so I'll just read to you what it does. So you got a burst fire mode. Now, in the burst fire mode, it increases main battery gun rate of fire by allowing you to shoot a series of quick salvos. Each series is followed by a longer reload. For a Victoria, that's 2 bursts. So she fires again. And then you can use main battery reload booster to get that back again quicker, so you can burst fire again if you want to. Okay? Now you lose 25% main battery damage, but you get a whole nother salvo in at something. And I found this ship to be fantastic in ranked. Exactly random. I find it to be fantastic in ranked because ranked is all about finding the right moment to unleash hell on something. And in ranked battles, more than any other, if you catch a cruiser or enemy battleship off guard, you can spank them. And it's great. It's great. So she's got AP and HE main battery shells. So that could make her useful for dealing with destroyers. Most of the time, it's just what you need random. In my experience, when I played this ship in ranked battles, now this is before Los Andes, mind you, but she was very well suited for how I like to play ranked. Very aggressive, looking for moments of opportunity, and then punishing enemies for giving me that opportunity. So, you know, it's nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build. Main battery, main armaments mod 1, and then damage control, yeah. Aiming, yeah. Damage 2, she doesn't get a smoke. So chances are pretty high she's going to be farmed and stuff like that. So there's that. Concealment, and then finally reload. Fine. The only thing you may consider changing random is you may consider going for steering gears. Let me take a look at the maneuverability. Rudder shift time is 15.5 seconds. If you find yourself in situations where you need to dodge incoming fire a lot more, then maybe consider steering gears to make the ship a little bit more nimble. Otherwise, you know, if you're constantly being farmed by HE spammers, damage 2 is fine. This is actually probably helpful for dealing with Lepantos, Valparaisos, and stuff like that in ranked. You've got a 10-point captain. The guns have pretty good pen because of it, despite their caliber, great for killing yeah. So the thing about Roma is that the initial shell velocity is quite high at 850. So they're 381mm guns, which means they don't really overmatch as much as obviously 406s do, which can be important in ranked. But what Roma teaches you to do is actually look for cruisers that are not flat broadside to shoot. You have to wait until they turn a little bit, because if you hit them flat broadside, most of the time the shell velocity is so high, it'll go through both sides of the hull before it explodes, and then just full overpens. You need fire protection expert. It definitely helps you for dealing with stuff. Now, let's take a look at your build. You've gone with consumable specialist. I'm guessing that's so that you get your main battery reload booster back quicker. You only have 2 charges of it, though. Grease the gears is fine. Adrenaline rush. And concealment, okay. Personally, I might go priority target for the second point, but I can understand grease the gears. I think turret traverse is 28 seconds with grease the gears. Okay. And this is a standard captain because there's no special Spanish captains. Yeah. Adrenaline rush is fine. And then you've got your concealment expert. Okay. Now, if you were doing this specifically for ranked random, I might even say I'd go for fire prevention first over concealment, just because, yeah, the concealment is good in the ship, but in ranked battles and many times that's only useful for initial positioning, and that's about it. Maybe in late game the ability to disengage, but I would find fire prevention much more valuable to the majority of a ranked battle. You've considered if expert marksman is better for the first point up here. What? Since your ammo, I think you're talking about gun feeder? Yeah. You're building off the recommended captain build doc. Yeah, I mean, I think it's... HE is okay for shooting at destroyers, but quite frankly, the AP, because of the shell velocity, is quite comfortable for shooting destroyers. I would have no problem just constantly spamming AP shells into destroyers. HE, actually, the shell velocity is even higher. But I don't think you need to worry about gun feeder. And consumable specialist makes a lot of sense to get your main battery reload booster back quicker. So I think that's fine. Increase the gears, it's okay. I think priority target might be a better play, but that's how I play it, and that's just me. Adrenaline rush is fine. Like I said, I might change to this, but you've already said this is, you're going to go to the next one anyway as soon as you can. Yeah, prioritize getting the shot off rather than reloading to a different animal type. Right, exactly. Exactly. Now, from there, you have a couple of options that are interesting. One is you could go fireproof. Or not fireproof, sorry, furious. So if you're on fire, hey, you become deadlier. You could do that. Alternately, you could do something like close quarters combat and buff the secondaries if you want to get your reload up as well. Or you can go the traditional tank build and you can go for emergency repair and either improved repair party or basics. If you are dealing with a lot of Los Andes's and ranked and Valparaiso's, you're probably better off with basics and emergency repair. But honestly, doing something like this or something like this plus... Actually, you're going to be firing AP a lot in this. This could be an interesting combo for you. This could be a very interesting combo for you because it kind of negates some of the penalty from using the burst fire on the Victoria. And you're almost always going to be shooting AP. And you take less damage from fires, and fires last longer. So you can see how it kind of synergizes well here. This is kind of more of a greedy damage farming build. But in ranked, that might be very important. You don't think you're good enough at the game to pull off heavy AP and Furious? I mean, you're a ways away from that. I would say what you want to do is you want to get your captain to 18. And then once you get to 18 points, you can decide where you want to go. Would you rather go for Furious for the reload? Or would you rather go for the survivability? And that's a situation, I think... Would you still take DCP Mod 2 with that then? I'm not sure, Random. Let me think about that. But that's one of those things where you have to kind of think about what do you value most. And I always tell people when you're deciding your commander skills, you do it based off of your playstyle. Now, you said you went and used the build doc and you went off of that. Okay. That's fine. But the thing about doing the build doc is that's how people who maybe play differently than you have decided. And that might not be the best choice for you. So they lean into heavy AP, and then they lean into the extra heal. Okay. Now, yes, if you're going heavy AP, I kind of agree with the build doc. You either go for the propulsion, or I might go steering. But either of those two is probably going to be better for you if you're going to take the heavy AP. I don't know that I agree with the heal, though. I think if you're going to go for the heavy AP, you might as well take advantage of Furious and the ability to get that flat, that sexy reload. I mean, one fire equals 10% faster reload on your guns. Now, if you can synergize that with a burst fire, and then you can use your main better reload booster to get it up even quicker, that, to me, that's actually really sexy. So that might be worth considering. And to me, that's kind of fun. It's a little bit different instead of your typical cookie cutter battleship build. And yeah, if you're gonna take this, you probably don't care about the DCP 2 slot so much. So then you're like, okay, you know, I still think steering gears, unless you play a lot of stop and go games, propulsion is fine for that. But then I might finish it up with Furious. And I might, like, see, the thing about ranked battles, specifically ranked random, you're probably not going to go through all of your charges of heals. The extra heal is probably going to be wasted for you. So I don't know that you need to worry about this. If this is a ranked specific build, if it's a random specific build, I could see the argument for emergency repair expert and a little bit more survivability. But to me, Victoria isn't a random boat. It's a ranked boat. Most of your game is waiting for the right time to shoot. Super fast reload on a Victoria. Oh my goodness. So the thing you have to keep in mind, Random, is a lot of experienced players are used to wait for somebody to shoot at them and then start turning out. So what you do is you fire your regular gun. You don't burst salvo. You fire regular salvo at them, and then they start to turn out. You switch to burst fire mode, and then you catch them off guard because they don't think that you're ready to shoot them right away. And then you pow pow, you know? So that's where Victoria, I found Victoria very comfortable in ranked battles. I loved her, frankly. I thought she was a great battleship for it. Obviously, Valparaiso, as mentioned earlier, is also probably even more of a stupid, ridiculous pick for ranked. But if you don't have a Valpo, Victoria starts with the letter V for victory. There you go. Yeah. So this is a more damaged build, but fine. By the way, this build would be chef's kiss in the current Unbreakable line as well. She's a great Valparaiso hunter, yes. You can do the same with the traditional reload boost. Yeah, absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. But you know, what you want to do is you want to catch them off guard with the funny button, because that's when they really, whew, you spank them, and then you reload boost to get the spanking up earlier. You end up fighting one in this game. There you go. So Unbreakable line she's good at with this build. If you're playing operations, maybe Emergency Repair Expert is better. If you're playing randoms, Emergency Repair Expert is probably better too. But to me, there are better ships for me to play in randoms or operations than this ship. So I'd probably play those instead. You know what I mean? Like, I've got so many ships to choose from at this point. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to kind of specialize. Okay, this ship I only play in this game mode because it's best for here, or I enjoy it best here. So, and then for flags, you've got heal boost, fire reduction. You should really take flood reduction, in my opinion. HP restoration, yeah, okay. You don't have speed? You should take speed. Consumables, I would not take secondaries. You don't have any reason to take secondaries up here. That's a wasted flag. Anti-air can be useful. It helps you ward off carriers. Exactly, random. See, there's better ships to play in random. So, you know, I don't know that many people are like, I'm gonna play random, and the first thing I want to do is play Victoria. Wait, what? You don't have secondary build, so you don't need secondary flags. You know? What's wrong? The flags? What do you mean? Like, you've got different flags on than you remember you running? Well, there's an easy way to tell, and that's going to be to zoom in and take a look. And yeah, you don't have the speed flag. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh wait, secondary flag. Yeah, you've got the secondary flag. That's this one right here. Because you're broke. So anyways. Yeah, I would definitely not run the secondary flag. Anti-air, quite honestly, I'd probably play without. If you're like me, you go into a rank queue and you have your finger hovering over the escape key, and you see one carrier and you hit escape quickly enough, that gets you out of carrier games. So that's the majority of the reason why you'd want the anti-air flag. So just do it like that. Hey, Zaka. Wargaming's idea. Now, if you are cheap, yeah, I wouldn't run, exactly. I wouldn't run secondaries either. Unless you're doing this trick, which is the secondary range and then the close quarters. Then that works. And this works just to buff the range a little bit farther to get your 10% main battery rear load up. But that's a lot of work. This is less work. So I would just do it this way. Why do I have the secondary flag? What then that I don't know. So what I would be doing is, I mean, you said you're cheaping out on Seer Mike. That's fine, but this ship is really good with speed flag. I think anti-flood would be great for dealing with subs or just A. And then ramming flag would be good. I always say go ramming if you don't know what to take. Is it cheap? It's like the cheapest flag in the game. Go ramming and just go ram something. You never know when you need to ram something in ranked. So I would do like that for flags. You can't take it off because something's wrong with the servers? Interesting. After we're done with replays, we're gonna probably hopefully do some live play. We'll see. Okay, let's take a look at your lineup here. So you and a Los Andes versus a Valparaiso and a Missouri. That's a toss-up in my opinion. Missouri is a very strong boat with its radar and the 406s. For cruisers, you've got two Vajayjays and a Tulsa versus a Kronstadt, a Vajayjay of their own, and an A-gear. I would say you probably have the advantage here. And then for destroyers, Black versus Fletcher, I would say you have the advantage unless the Fletcher guy really knows what he's doing. You put ramming flags on destroyers now because the amount of subs that rage ram you when you run them down. Yeah, exactly. This is actually a game that would have been a lot easier to win if one of your allies did a ram. Yeah. Zeka, are you here to do your replay? Are you available to do your replay today? You can say no if you want. I'm just trying to... I got two more to do today, and I just don't know who else I'm going to hit up. You got a diehard on a Marceau from that? Yeah. It's always fun when you ram a sub, isn't it? It's fun when you ram anything and survive. Okay, random. First thing, I do not like seeing you and the Los Andes going the same way. I don't care that you prefer to play on this side of the map. When I see apes together strong, I just... Okay. You can chill and chat? Okay. I think I would rather see you kind of heading out this direction early. Or at the very least, just kind of chilling more central here. And then deciding where to go from there. Your shells are behind. I don't like that one of your Vajayjays is going here. I would have liked to have seen a ship go this way. And since he's going this way, that's another reason why you go in this direction would be so important right now. Okay, yeah, no problem, Zaka. One thing you can also do is change the view quality, right? You can change it from 1080p to 360 or something. As long as you can hear me, then you can hear the cues as to when we're making the change and stuff. Okay, Los Andes is turning in, so if that's the case, you just keep going this way. Here's where you can use your plane. Use your plane to aim over the island on the Vajayjay, and you might be able to clear him. Actually, the A-gear is coming up for you, so that works. Let's clear this. Oh, Kronstadt. Okay, Fletcher went to A, Black went to B. Citadel.
Attention, reporting the target position.
Here you might reload boost and funny button the A-gear just to get him out. I realize that he's quite low and you think he'll probably whatever, But in my experience in ranked, I've seen too many times the last final salvo from a dying ship absolutely wrecks somebody, or torpedoes hit and kills someone, you know, that kind of crap. Like, yeah, I don't know. You could have killed him there is what I'm getting at. Try to get the blind fire off there before lock-on expired, and it worked out. It did, yeah. Alright, so you have what we like to call the Puss Los Andes. Those are the ones that have great secondaries and are perfect for brawling, but they are afraid to do said thing. And he is currently running away from everything. Rip your Missouri radar. See what I was talking about with the radar? Mm-hmm. You got 2 Citadels on the Missouri, though, so that's kind of fun. See, now you're in a very bad spot. And again, if you would have gone over here to start, it might have been better for you. Burst has a lot lower DPM than normal fire, so you try. Yeah, but you don't. You gotta stop thinking of DPM. That number, it's not DPM. Burst is burst damage, and burst damage gets the kill. So you have to think about that as. Here was not in a. I know I can. Yes, he was. If you burst fired him, I'm pretty damn sure you could have, but that's okay. He had an HE sniper sleeping. Oof, that is annoying. Well, at some point, Los Andes is going to be forced to get into the game. Plane up here to line up your shot. Funny button armed because he's coming in. That's what I would do here. Funny button. Bam. Bam. Get him down. Keep your guns right and focus on the Kronstadt Vijay combo, I'd say, but okay. Or just, yeah, kill the Missouri, because he doesn't seem to care that you're showing broadside, or he doesn't care showing broadside at you all the time, so.
Get back.
I disagree, Random. Because you don't look at it as the particular salvo, you look at it as the type of shell hit. You'd have to go back and see, were they over pens, whatever. All it takes is a random shell to hit the Citadel, and boom, you've done bonus damage if you think about it that way. So, I would unload on him thinking, I want to get him off the board. I like this maneuver. Because really, the only thing you have to worry about is the Missouri shells. The Valpo can't shoot you right now. Hey, Gary. Well, like I said, that's what I would have done. Ooh. Yeah, because the Fletcher took the B cap since the black died. And look, Los Andes is running away from another fight.
I need help.
Can't make this up, you know. Good song choice for this this part of the game. Well, that ram would have been nice there. That's the ram you're talking about, but guy got greedy. And to be quite honest, right now, it's not about greedy, it's about getting the kill. And if you die and trade, that's perfectly okay. But the other thing is Valpo has really good acceleration and turning. Very hard to ram a Valpo that doesn't want to be rammed. So here you go, waiting for the right moment. Another chance here. With the reload boost, with that burst fire, that would have gotten the kill on the Kronstadt right there. Los Andes kills him with an HE primary gun shot. Feels bad. I wouldn't turn this way, I'd turn the other way. I'd turn the other way. Turn the other way so that you can stay... There you go, now you've seen it. Yes, that's the theme for My Dream of Genie, yes. How you doing, Gary? And there goes your Tulsa. Too far back? And you burst it, okay. If you would have kept your guns and you would have turned the opposite direction, you would have full bursted in there with the front guns too, and that would have been a kill. But your indecision here is costing you time. And Valparaiso wants time. Wants time to charge up the funny button, to heal, and then use the funny button. And you're also, by doing this, you're turning into the Los Andes' position, making it easier for the Valpo to just dodge everything. There's another Citadel. He's turning out. That's so nice of him. That is so nice of him. Goodbye. Nope. Never mind. See what I mean about that wrong turn? Also, if you would have waited to burst fire until you had all your turrets up instead of just the rear, you would have been far better off. But he gets to use his funny button, and now he gets to charge up his funny button on you for free. Yep, he got the zombie heal. I would probably aim right here. You're looking for turrets. Okay, burst fire on. Not enough. Showing a good amount of side now. Way too much side, you're overturning. Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you can. Take that, island! Last heal. Make it count.
Alarma de incendio.
And now you're too busy engaging in chat than focusing on the game.
Torpedos al frente.
You're focused on getting island cover. Yeah, you could have. Absolutely. But now the problem is you're just... I don't know, frankly. You're giving... The big thing is you're giving Valpo the chance to heal up and not use his funny button. So you give him the chance to choose when he wants to fight you. Now, if you want to know what he's doing, pop your plane so you can at least see if he's coming your way or not. Like, you keep looking like you're waiting for him to come, but you don't know. Okay, well, there's the, oof. And he shoots too far forward into your bow, and that's gonna allow you to kill him. You got extremely lucky here, dude. Extremely lucky.
Acorazado enemigo destruido. El enemigo está por ganar.
Well, now you've got 2,000 hit points, and you're forced to DCP that fire. Fortunately, that low island is there to, 1, block torpedoes, and 2, still allow you to shoot the Fletcher. You got 1 final heal coming up.
Problema resuelto, señor.
Okay. So your DCP is off. This is the part where you get set on fire immediately after. Scope in. Get ready. Scope in. There you go. Shoot her! Shoot her! You switched to HE. Wow. Okie dokie. You, yes! Alright. We got ourselves a double with fireworks. Now that's an ending, ladies and gentlemen. That is an ending. Fletch heal at 125 HP, right? Seriously. Alright, I'm not gonna bother trying to get the fireworks in. I'm gonna instead... Well, this isn't gonna work too well. I'll get the fireworks in. You were definitely panicking at the end there. Well, yeah. I could see that happening. The burst fire saved your life, yes. So I would say it like this, Random. Don't be afraid to use your burst fire more frequently. Especially if you're in a situation where you probably won't have another shot out for a while. Would Fletcher AP into this from the Fletcher's perspective? Yes. Absolutely. He was counting on another fire and it never happened. So yeah, if the Fletcher would have been smart enough to switch to AP for the guaranteed 10% damage on overpens to your super, you'd be dead. Okay? If the Valpo was smart enough to hit you under your turret instead of your bow, you would be dead. But it's a ranked battle. I'm sure they thought they had clearly won the game. And then, you know, you said, hold my beer on this, and bam. You know? Great game, though. But yeah, don't be afraid to use that funny button more frequently. Yeah, Fletcher was probably a little scared too and missed some shells. RNGesus was bouncing out of Baltimore, setting 7 fires on you in under a minute in the previous game. It happens to me so freaking much. All right, let's get the replay render going. Chat, what can we title this replay should it make it to YouTube? What do you want to do, huh? Burst clutch? Then he did it to your teammate? Some people get all of the, some of the people get all of the RNG, you know? Sounds nice. Or burst it. Burst it can mean a lot of things. Always spec survivability expert. Kappa. Was that a non-survivability expert Fletcher? I didn't catch that. And yes, never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. That's a good point. Let's see. Open replay file. Random. Fletcher. I cannot open his build? I thought I could. Did they change that ability? Yeah, they changed that ability. Okay. Maybe it's still available. I don't think it is. No. Okay. Oh well. Bana Chadu, hello. Be simple as just checking his HP in game. For people that know that stuff, I don't. So I couldn't tell you. No SE? Alright, fair enough. Where is this? I can re-render it and see. I'm surprised that my build viewer does look at how much damage the Fletcher took. That's another way of doing it, true. So Fletcher received 21,301 damage. $21,301. SE Fletcher is 20k. Okay. Plus you add the flag onto it probably, right? So, cool. All right. Well, hey. Random, thank you very much for sending in the replay. Appreciate you for doing that. And that was a lot of fun to look at. Hopefully we gave you some good ideas for your future games, and just enjoy the ship, because I can tell you are.